Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's right. Okay, I did a little weird head shake there. You couldn't see it. Maybe you heard it. You heard the shake in my voice. I was gonna do kind of like a preview-ish video of this, like a Foxman Fiddles, but I said, screw it. Let's just play it. I just want to play it. None of this diddly-daddling, doodling-daddling. Foxman plays Guild of Dungeoneering. So, what is Guild of Dungeoneering? Well, it's kind of like a video game form of tabletop sort of game, you know? Except you don't need to play with anybody else. You just get to play against the AI, which is kind of cool. No, it's like a Dungeon Master-esque game where we build a guild, and we build the guild by collecting gold. And we get the gold by going into dungeons and, you know, fighting monsters and stuff. But the cool thing is, every dungeon is, like, we get to make the dungeon as we go and place the monsters. It's a pretty interesting take on it. And, I like it from what I played thus far. I played a couple hours, streamed a little bit as well. People seem to like it, are enjoying it, quite a bit. Let's get the nitty-gritty out of the way. It is available on Mac and PC. You can get it on the Steam store. I think it was $15. And you can... What was I going to say? You can... No, not you can. The developer is Gambrinos? Gambrinos? It's N-O-U-S. News. The News Psalm. That's French for we have. I don't know. It's throwing me off. And the publisher is Versus Evil. So anyways, pretty interesting game, and I could try and describe it a little more, but it's actually fairly simple in concept and mechanics, but it's quite fun. It's quite nice. It's cute. It's good. It's not like a super intense resource hog of a game either, which I kind of like. It gets a couple points for that because I can put it on my 2011 MacBook Air, and it's not gonna destroy it, so I can have some fun with that when I'm over lounging on the couch. Anyways, let's play. I'm gonna do a new game. You get three slots. You can see I've kind of fooled around a little bit in these ones, so I'm gonna use number 3 for now. All right, here we go.
This is the Guild of Dungeoneering. All across the land they're cheering, oh, to be a Dungeoneer, chasing fame and glory.
That guy, he likes to sing. He tries to rhyme. It's not always on time. But hey, man, what are you gonna do when you don't have a dime? Oh, snap! That was bad, I know. So I'm gonna read this stuff out because you might be on a small screen, or maybe you're not even quite looking. Maybe you just want to listen. That's your prerogative. But anyways, this reads: the Ivory League of Explorers, the noblest, most virtuous guild in the land. Pfft. Those insufferable jerks, the big duty heads. I'll show them. They won't think me so grossly incompetent when I have my own guild. I bought a small hall in the bad part of town with the gold I borrowed, quotes around borrowed, from them. I've staked out a dungeon that's ripe for the picking. I've even found a chump who can do all the dirty work while I sit back and watch the coins roll in. Like my father always told me, there's always someone stupider than yourself. Well, he never really said that to me. Actually, he said it to everyone but me. Hey, wait a minute. So there's that. That's nice. We got a little map here. Like, oh, is there a dungeon there? Dungeon there. Oh, that guy's got a beard. Skeletons can't have beards, man. Let's just say continue. Okay. Little bit of a built-in tutorial every time you start a new save. It's not even really a tutorial. Like, sometimes people are like, oh, no, I don't want to do the tutorial again. I've already done this tutorial 1,000 times. It's basically free money, man. It's not all that big of a deal. So, this banner up here says we need to hire some Dungeoneers, so let's build a barracks. Drag the barracks card beside your guild house to build a new room. So this is definitely, the barracks is a freebie, but as we collect gold and gold, we'll be able to spend that gold on cards or unlocks and stuff like that. We can upgrade or expand our dungeon, as they say, and we can pick and choose, you know, certain types of runes, certain items, things of that nature, so we can make it easier for us to go out into the world and pillage these dungeons and whatnot. Or maybe not easier, but just kind of, you know, stay with inflation, because the game's gonna get harder, so we gotta get harder with the game. Drag the barracks. So this is part of the building the game, right? We get to build our guild, and we also get to build the dungeons as we go, which is pretty cool. I'll put the barracks right there. It'll be kind of the heart. A new Dungeoneer arrived. Garth.
The solitary lump.
He's a chump.
Whose fodder for the grind. The sorry little chump.
Oh man. Wow, those posters must be working. You'll read that a lot. We can actually rename these guys though, which is always fun. They're kind of randomly picked name, but Chump. Think of Chump as like a class. So that's where part of this game might. There, you know, elements taken from a lot of things, but some people will say, and I'm not super positively sold on it, but you know, some have said it's kind of like Munchkin. It definitely draws influence from Munchkin in a lot of ways, which is fine, because Munchkin's like my favorite tabletop card game of all freaking time. I have them all. I have them all. They're within arm's reach. I want to play it right now. So, and it's the funny thing is, I was just talking to my brother the other week. We were playing some Munchkin, and I was like, hey man, do you know how cool it would be if you just had like an electronic version of this, and then you could play online with people? Because my brother and I live a few hours away from each other. Or even, you know, maybe they have a basic AI that you could play against. Well, you know what? This is gonna fill that void for me, I think. At least for now. You can still make an online Munchkin game. I'll play that. But anyways, so I'm gonna name this guy to Garth because that's I saw Garth. I really like the name Garth, but then I thought Garth from Wayne's World, and I like Garth. Garth is cool. He's a drummer. He's all right. So let's hit close. So this guy, if he dies, he'll just be replaced by another chump. No big deal. We can't really do anything else because we don't have money, and money is down here. It's a 0. It's not a coin, it's more like a star, shining star. Might throw you off a little bit, but that's the money. That's the money. We have none of it. So let's go exploring, because that's really our only option. You can see here, well, this is our guild. Looks kind of like a castle. The rest of this is basically area we've yet to uncover. We gotta start with the little guy. We gotta do well. We gotta earn our wings, prove ourselves, and then it's gonna open up some more dungeons for us to go and fight in. So again, don't really have much choice. I'm gonna click this guy. You can see here. All right, adventure rats. How original. There's 2 quests actually in this dungeon, so we're gonna be going through this dungeon at least twice. Quest 1 is squeak squeak. Everyone's gotta start somewhere, so we can enter the dungeon for that. Once we complete this, if and when we complete it, we will then be able to do quest 2, which should theoretically maybe be a little bit harder, but that's fine. Let's just hit enter the dungeon. Let's go, Garth. Party on, Garth. Party on, Wayne. Okay. So now when we start, also you can use the arrow keys. Well, if it'll let me. It's showing us how to play the game right now. I'm gonna explain it. Don't worry. It's putting all that stuff there. This is why I'm a Dungeoneer. Let me move. All right. Well, it won't even let me. Okay. What happened there? At the start of every go, you get those cards drawn, and then you actually get to place them yourself. The computer just placed them for me there just to show us, just to get the ball rolling. So the way the actual combat works, it's card based, which is fine. So this blue deck here is my deck. This red deck here is the enemy, the monster. In this case, it is the rubber ducky, aka the rubber dicky. And I have 3 cards in my hand, at least to start. That's the default, unless you have other cards or other items that would dictate that you have more. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But by default, we have 3 cards in our hand, and we can play 1 per turn. This card here, you always see the monsters card that they played. I think, well, as far as I played in the game so far, you, by default, see the monsters card face up that they played. So we can't really do too much about this other than react to it. Now let's look at some of these elements of the cards and our characters. Garth here, my dude, he has 5 hearts. And Rubber Ducky has 4 hearts. So I guess I'm winning on that front, per se, but who knows, this could be a fierce Ducky. Maybe he's got a lot of very damaging cards. Actually, the headbutt is kind of, it's a bit of a compromise. So these 2 kind of red star thingies, that is a fist in there. If you can't tell, it's a fist. They're physical attacks. Red is physical. So he's gonna do 2 damage to me, so that'll take away 2 hearts. Simple enough. But the other aspect of this, and you see when I hover the card, it kind of gives a little more description. It says 2 physical damage and then minus 1 HP. That minus 1 HP is actually to Rubber Ducky. So yeah, he's gonna do 2 damage to me, but it's kind of a bit of a sacrifice for his own health, because he's gonna lose 1. There are a few plays that I could do there. I could, if I had 2 red shields, I could actually block myself from taking the damage, but he would still take the damage. I don't. Let's look at the cards I do have. I have 2 Cower cards and 1 Eyes Closed Punch. Just makes me think Eyes Wide Shut. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, yeah. The Cower card here is a shield, but it's actually split down the middle, so it's half red, half blue. What that means is it's going to shield us against either physical, red, or magical, blue. So he's not doing any magical damage, so it doesn't matter. But this is much better than having just a red shield or just a blue shield, because we can use it in more than one situation. If I were to use a blue shield against a red attack, a physical attack, it's not going to work, because, you know, magic attacks and physical attacks are two different things. But or I can do 1, again, physical damage to him. What I am going to do is use the shield, so I will only take 1 damage instead of the 2. The shield will cancel out one of these. If I had 2 shields, then it would cancel out both. But he's still going to take 1 damage. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. Alright, so we use that card, the Cower, so now you can see it goes in the discard pile. Same with his Headbutt card. He's drawn, which is a blank card. It's basically like your turn, skip your turn. And you can see here at the bottom is kind of like an attribute or a skill or a category, whatever. It's called Stupidity 1. That just it relates to what kind of stuff the card does. So, but you can see this one over here, it's kind of faint but irritable. So he's like angry, so he's doing a lot of damage, but he's irritable, so he's also doing damage to himself. Jump, I don't really know. That's just basic. He's a basic bitch. He's a jump, so he's only doing 1 damage or blocking 1 damage. Anyways, what this essentially does is it gives us a free pass to do whatever, and we don't have to worry about taking damage ourselves. Though I can't really do too much damage, and there's absolutely no reason to use a shield here because he's not attacking, so it would just be a wasted card. So we might as well attack. There you go. Now Rubber Ducky's down. So he is doing 1 physical attack to me again, so I'll lose 1 heart, but he's also losing 1 health himself, which is silly. It's like tit for tat. It cancels out almost, except it doesn't. We both take damage. So keeping that in mind, I was like, oh, I could use Lucky Hit, but I don't need to. I only need to use Eyes Closed Punch. So that's basically what I'm going to do. I could, or, yeah, alternatively, I could use the shield so that I don't take any damage and he takes 1 damage, but It doesn't really matter because after the fight, our health resets. So even if he does deal damage to me right now, it's not a big deal. Now, mind you, if I was down to 1 heart, he would kill me. If we both die at the same time, I die too. Like, I have to start the dungeon over again. In that case, I would probably want to use the shield. But that's not the case. Let's just do this. Boom. So I did 1 damage. He also took 1 damage to himself. I took 1 damage, but it doesn't matter. When we finish a fight, we're presented with 3 loot cards, if you will. Or we could just take some gold. And remember, we used gold to buy stuff back at our guild when we've completed the dungeon. Now, taking gold can be a bit risky because it means you're not getting one of these loot items that you can play on your character right now to boost our stats and give us some more cards. Though, if they're all really crappy and they're just not going to help, then it's almost worth it just to take the gold, right? Don't just take a card because you have to, because you don't. You could take some gold instead, and gold is always good. So looking at these, at the bottom, you see head, you see offhand, and you see offhand again. Basically, that corresponds to 4 spots here. So by clicking Garth's name, it brings up kind of him, what he's all about. So right now, we don't have an item for our head or our offhand. We don't have a weapon, and we don't have body, like armor. So you can see he is a chump, he's level 1, he has that much health. And if he has any blessings, if he has any traits, if he has any skills, they'll all be listed here. So that's always available to us. Actually, I'll keep them up. Now, offhand, it gives us the fire 1, which is alright. And because of that, we get this card up top, Fire Blast. So that's going to get added to our deck. And Fire Blast does 2 magical damage. Not too bad. Again, it's fairly basic, but it's okay. This Pigeon Nest does Growth 1, and Growth 1 is kind of like helping your health. So you can see the card above, Rekindle, does 1 magic damage, and it also gives us plus 1 health. So we'll regain some health. If we're full health, we won't gain any more. And last, we have the Wooden Stool. So this is another offhand item. So you can see it's got some good stuff, but it's also got a little bad. So it's going to add the card to our deck. So we might get that at an inopportune moment. But we also get Repel, which is really good. It has 3 shields, so it'll block 3 physical damage, 3 red shields. And as well, we get Bash, which is going to dole out 1 physical damage and block 1 physical damage at the same time. So, I mean, those are all decent, but I think I'm actually going to take the Fire Blast. Maybe? No, you know what? I'm going to take... I want Rekindle, because being able to heal myself is a huge thing, because this game is not necessarily easy. So now that's taking up my head spot. If I get another head item, I can select it, and it will replace that dude. And you can see now, I've got Rekindle is in my skill spot, and that card should hopefully pop up at some point. These footprints show the pathway that our little dude is going to take. So we can kind of persuade him to change his pathway. Right now, he's like, I'm out of here. I don't like this. But he can't actually go anywhere right now. So this is where we get to build the dungeon. We are presented sometimes with more than one of these room cards. And they're different types. So this is a corridor. But we might get kind of dead ends or like a dog leg left or right, kind of, you know, it's like an elbow, you know, different room types. So sometimes it actually makes you compromise because, like, well, I want to put down a room, but this is the only one I can do. It's not perfect, but it'll, you know, it'll work. Anyways, this corridor is actually typically pretty awesome. And you can see when I click it and I bring it, there are 3 possible spots that I could put it. For me, either here or here is the best. It doesn't make as much sense to put it here because it's only bridging us between one of these other rooms, whereas if I put it there, I've got 2 possible rooms, and there is 2 possible rooms. So I'm just gonna put it here, and you can see how our pathway has changed. So now this guy, he wants to go after this nasty rat hiding under there, and all these guys are nasty rats. They're all fairly basic. I can play 2 more cards, so you can play 3 cards before you start your turn. So this is where you can have fun. I'm gonna put gold in here because that's what I'm gonna do. Now, I need I should have mentioned it from the get-go. Our objective in the top right here is to defeat 3 monsters. So you can see I've defeated 1. It's gonna keep track. It's gonna keep the tally. I'd rather get that over with sooner rather than later, I think, right now. Though if we do more dungeons, there's, I guess, chance to get more gold and stuff. Which is also maybe good, but it's also more chance for us to die. So, that said, if I hover over this, I can see the giant bat has 4 health. He's feral 2, spooky 3, and he's also a loner. So, minus 1 HP if in a dead end. So it's very important to keep track of the stats and stuff on these. So if I had a room that was indeed a dead end and I put him in, well, that's really good because he's gonna instead have 3 HP to start with. Even better, right? Unfortunately for me, I don't have that luxury, but he still has only 4 health, which is, you know, better than 5 health. Though his attacks could be better. He's Feral 2, Spooky 3, Feral 2, Nature 2. So he makes up for it in the spooky factor. I'm still gonna fight him. We're gonna hope for a quick one. So now I've laid 3 cards, and he's going that way. He's like, I want to fight this giant bat. Cook him up. I wonder what bat tastes like. Actually, I don't care. I don't care to know. You could tell me it tastes like chicken, and I'll be okay with that, and I'll still never eat a bat for my entire life. I probably you know, they say you swallow 8 bats a year in your sleep, right? I know they say it's spiders. I'm just making a joke, and I don't even know if that whole spider thing is true. Though I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly. Have you seen your mouth? Look at your mouth in the mirror. I would sleep in that mouth. It's toasty in there. Brush your teeth. I'm just joking. Unless you need to brush your teeth, then maybe you should pause the video, go brush your teeth, and come back. I am going to... Okay, so this guy... First, let's see what he's doing to us. He is attacking with a magical attack. It's going to do 1 damage to us. And he is also going... It's going to do... he's going to receive 1 HP for every bit of damage done. So he's got full health right now. What I'm gonna do, I can use a shield to block it, and we'll just both go on our merry way. Or I could try and do 2 physical damage to him. Let's just do the lucky hit, actually. I want to get this over with. So you see, he only took 1 because he dished 1 damage to me, and because he dished 1, he healed 1. If he had dished 5, he would have healed 5. Or, well, he would have just gone to full health because he only has 4. Rekindle I like a lot. This I can do 1 magic damage and heal. Screw it, I'm gonna stop this one for now. He's doing 1 magic and he is blocking 1 physical. So I cannot use these. Well, I could, but they would do nothing. And he would still hurt me. So I'm gonna hurt him and heal a bit at least. He's not gonna heal though. See? There you go. 3 physical. Or 1 physical for each. Now he's got a card here with a shield on the yellow background and it's crossed out. That means you, well, unblockable. I cannot block this. So putting a shield down, not happening. It's not helping. It's good for nothing. And I've got 3 of the same cards, so I might as well just attack him. I'll still do damage to him, that's fine, and I do have the leg up on him. Alright. So, again, I cannot block this, so using Cower is out of the question, and that's fine by me because he's dead! You're dead! Ooh, okay. Level up! I got plus 1 HP, so if I go here now, oh, I'm level 2, so now I have more HP. Good on you, mate. So that's part of the reason why you don't want you guys to die, because the more fighting they do, the stronger they get. They level up. Wooden stool. Again, we saw this previously. It's okay, but it could screw us over. This one, the wooden board, we only get the 1 item, but it's just repel, so we don't have to worry about getting a bad item. And that goes in our offhand. The body, it's just +1 in health. I'm going to go with that. Straight jacket. And you notice how when you put the stuff on your guy, it actually shows up. Garth has got a bird's nest on. He's got a straight jacket on. Still looking really, really cute. Really cute. Massive gem. So that's like gold, but on a whole another level. I would like that. So we're going to put that in... Well, I only have to fight one more monster. So I guess we'll put it in there. And if this guy didn't already want to go that way, this gem would persuade him to go that way. He'd be like, well, these are both the same dudes, but this one has a big, fat, massive stack of gem in there. I want it. And I'm just going to end my turn. I could place this other stuff, but it's really not necessary as far as I know. And once I see, he's like, massive gem, oh my god! Oh my god, who do you think I am? That's not how he said it. I'm gonna take a sip of water. I'm getting thirsty. Nom 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 nom. Okay. He's doing bite. Can't block it. Rules out cower. But I can do tit for tat. I will punch him. Now, I got a fair bit more health now because of the level up and because of the straight jacket. So, you know, a little bit easier. I'm not stressing out as much. I'm not stressing out at all at this point, to be honest. Let's just hit him up with the 2. Alright. So this guy, 1 physical damage, enemy discards 1 card. So I'll discard a card if he hits me. It says if successful. So if he hits me, he's successful. I'm just gonna be a ding dong and block it. So I don't have to discard. Honestly, it wouldn't matter to me. I don't feel I'm beating this guy regardless. Here, since I can't block, I will do this so I gain back some health. Or neutralize his attack, essentially. While still hurting him. And I can't block this, so boom. Blown wide open.
Do you have any decency, I wonder?
59 gold.
Like the Ivory League of Explorers. Instead
Dun,
you pillage
dun,
and
dun.
plunder and rip everything asunder. You're just a reckless bunch of marauders.
Oh my goodness. This guy's got game. Alright. Couldn't be 10 more gold, that's fine. But 50 gold is kind of like the magical number for us. So now you can see I can expand guild. I can also view Dungeoneers. I only have Garth right now, but if I had more, they would show up there. I'm gonna go to expand guild, and I'm not gonna show you all of this stuff right, you know, the specifics of each one, but I'll show you kind of an example, a few examples. So blacksmith is a room. If I build this room, I get these new items will be in the rotation, the loot, when I defeat a monster in the next dungeon. Now, not guaranteed. I mean, they'll be added with those other ones that were already in the rotation. But you can see the soldier's helmet, scimitar, scale mail, and the mace. Mace does crush 2, blade 1, scale mail, armor 1, so +2 health, which is pretty good. Blade 2, soldier's helmet +1 heart. So, you know, the whole blade 2, crush 2 and stuff, that corresponds to certain cards that we'll get in our deck. Okay? Which is good. Now we'll be able to do cards that have crush 2 and blade 1 if we weren't already able to do so. It's kind of cool. I like that. So there's that. I mean, we can look at some of these other ones, the woodworker. So there's a hand axe, an arcane wand, crossbow, a heater shield. And we're not going to look at specifics, but we will with time as we get into the nitty gritty. So there's those. There's also these talisman of Crone, talisman of heal aid. There's the warrior, and there's the trickster. So these guys are like permanent items. So if I'll just look at this guy. So this isn't we don't need to pick this up in the dungeon after fighting a monster. We don't need to play it as a card in one of the combats. As soon as we go into the dungeon, this is in effect. Though, these guys all last just for the first 2 fights. So you can see this is +1 loot choice slot after first 2 fights. So, instead of 3 loot items being available after we defeat a monster, it'll be 4. 4 to pick from is better, you know. Choice is good. Choice is great. And you'll see if I look at another one of these guys. This is a +1 to first physical damage in battle for first 2 fights. So if I were to take one of the, it does like 1 physical damage on the guy. If it's one of the first 2 fights, that first physical damage will actually do 2 instead of 1, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. And so they're all similar to that. As well, we've got unlock the bruiser, unlock the cat burglar, unlock the mime. Let's just look at the Mahalo mime. He's so cute. There's an unlock the apprentice. Apprentice is kind of like magical. I've used that one before. And the bruiser, you know, he's a beefy dude. I've not done the cat burglar or the mime. So you know what? This might get me killed sooner because I'm not familiar with them, but let's try something different. I'm gonna try the mime. I'm gonna unlock the mime. Sorry, Garth. So now I get to build the theater. The theater is the room where the mime is trained. So I guess we'll just put you there for now. Claudan.
Anything that's more soul-destroying than having to rhyme all the time. There's only one thing perhaps more annoying, and that would be an insufferable mime.
Mimes are, you know, some people got beef against them. I've never met one in real life, so I'm kind of bothered by that. I would like to meet one. I would like to join the show, get trapped in a glass case of emotion. I'm trying to think of a better name than Claudan, and quite frankly, I'm drawing a blank because we all know that Claudan is the greatest name of all time. They've got Bort and Bert, but there's no Bart. Claudan. It's not even inspired. It's not making me think of anything else. That's the thing, is I can see most names, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this name or that person. Blah, blah, blah. Claudan. What do I think of when I see Claudan? Claudan. Claudan. Foghorn. Alright, there you go. Foghorn it is. Sayonara, Claudan. Claudan. Okay, close. I've got 9 gold left, but that's not good enough to buy anything. So, this is the point where now I would say, okay, go exploring. We'd go back here, and now I'm going to do quest number 2. Enter the dungeon. Yeah, you're like, what? No way he's ending a video this early. Yeah, for those of you who new here, I have a tendency to do several hour-long episodes of stuff. But this, I'm hoping to keep them a little more compact, a little more digestible, like 2-bite brownies, alright? That's what I'm going for here. So, I'm going to draw the line in the sand right here. We're going to pick up where we left off in the next episode. Probably be able to squeeze in 2 dungeons, though, now that we've got through the basics and I've kind of explained most elements of the game. It should be a lot less explaining elements of the game and more getting into strategy and stuff. And again, for the first while, it's not going to be like, this is the strategy we should go with. It's like, what is the strategy I should go with? And I'm going to need your guys' help in the comments. If you guys happen to be playing this game, hey, I want to hear how you're playing it as well. How you're liking it and all that stuff. But anyways, that's doing it for this episode of Foxman Plays Guild of Dungeoneering. I was going to say Dungeon of Guildoneering, and that just didn't sound right. I hope you enjoy it. If you did like this episode, feedback is more than welcome. Positive or, you know, I guess negative. It's all constructive criticism. So, if there's things you want to see change, let me know. If you really like it, let me know as well. Best way to do that, you know, leave a comment saying what you like or what you didn't like. You can hit the like button, dislike button too if you really don't like it. And of course, if you want to come back For more, be aware and know when stuff is getting posted up. You can always subscribe. You know, I hate telling people to do that, but sometimes, you know, people forget things all the time. So there's your reminder. Do with it as you will. Anyways, I hope to see you in the next episode of Foxman Plays Guild of Dungeoneering. Until then, peace out.